everyone. Today I'm going to discuss a bit about certain nutrition choices which directly impact our metabolic health and what food you should look at, how you should evaluate the biochemistry behind it, how it can, you can feed your body, your microbiome with the right set of substrates to keep you metabolically healthy. Right? So essentially, we all over last few years, the time we have seen there is, increase in incidence of type 2 diabetes and cardiovascular diseases, right? Specifically, type 2 diabetes, over 100 million plus Indians are either diabetic or are at the risk of it. And, most of the interventions are based on, tracking your glycated hemoglobin, which is HbA1c, which is again, is the last stage of metabolic syndrome. So I've discussed this earlier also that first your insulin spike, then your glucose spike, and finally HbA1c spike. So HbA1c is nothing but stoking sugar sitting on your hemoglobin. So most of the interventions which focus on suppressing HbA1c and equates it to type 2 diabetes, reversal of type 2 diabetes is all a myth because most of these diets would tell you do not eat carbohydrates, and we have been told that carbohydrates are really bad, right? And this is one of the biggest flawed way of tracking your type 2 diabetes. Obviously, if you don't take sugar, you don't take glucose, your HbA1c is going to go down, and people will say we'll reverse diabetes. So it doesn't happen like that. And then comes to your continuous glucose monitoring machines again, which tracks your uh, blood sugar response to various foods. Again, there are multiple issues here, right? So again, the response is based on the systemic inflammation happening inside your body, and there are tens of thousands of biochemical reactions which contribute to that, right? And again, as you eat, your response to the food changes every 30, 45 days. And again, uh, you end up, you know, tracking this every now and then, spending more than upward of $15,000 on buying these strips for your CGMs. So it's like a financial model. Second thing is, even if you're tracking the blood sugar responses, right, then, uh, reality is that glucose in your circulation, right, which is staying for a longer period of time or shorter period of time, it has to be cleared from the circulation, transferred to cells for doing various jobs or for storage for future, right? For future energy utilization purposes, right? But again, this is done by GLUT4, and again, activation of GLUT4 is depends upon your production of nitric oxide, which I think we had I had shared yesterday the webinar we did on nitric oxide, and again, the production of nitric oxide again depends upon your microbes in your mouth, right? Because that's why now coming back to the nutrition part. So essentially, tracking your HbA1c or blood glucose, which we use in CGM, is just a minuscule task. It is not going to help you in reversal of diabetes. You really need to understand whether how your cellular metabolism is behaving. Whether uh, your GLUT4 is being activated, which clears the glucose of the circulation. What is causing inflammation, right? So a lot of these things has to be known. And again, if you go for CGM, you have to. It's a financial model for these health tech companies who are selling CGMs, right? So basically, you end up 14 days, you spend $7,000 for one strip, and then every month you're spending 15,000 bucks, right? And you have to do it for your life because your response, you do not understand why your glycemic response to food changes. And again, you guys would just keep on spending money on that, and without understanding what is the mechanism, what is the biochemistry behind it, what is causing inflammation and all things, right? So coming on to the nutrition part, let me first talk about carbohydrates, right? And don't take me wrong, probably I'm going to uh, discuss in detail, right? So we have what people say is simple carbs and complex carbs, right? Simple carb is something which is digested quickly, which converts into glucose and goes to a sugar, it is absorbed, and then it makes you feel hungry again because again, it is readily consumed and transported to cells for energy, right? So, so again, here when we are, I've seen a lot of these food companies coming up with solution, low glycemic index and low carb diets and all that, you know. So understand you, it is very important to understand that you are not feeding yourself, you're feeding your microbiome. So if you're going to not feed them, they're going to feed themselves. And again, when they're going to feed themselves, they're going to, you know, maybe eat up your gut lining or eat up your mucin, which is again further cause multiple inflammatory cascades, right? So here, what we need to focus on the non-digestible fermentable carbohydrates. NDFC. And again, it consists of prebiotics, it consists of dietary fiber, it consists of microbiota accessible carbohydrates, right? So I'm going to discuss few of these substrates, right? So one is obviously we have resistant starch, which is again, our body doesn't have the right enzymes to actually metabolize these, and they go, which is our gut, these microbes in our gut actually sense these substrates, right? Whether it is, polyphenols or resistant starch or inulin, right? So foods which are rich in resistant starch are oats, right? Quinoa, right? Lentils, some sort of, right? So there are a number of such foods which are rich in resistant starch and which your gut microbiome. They actually sense them. They express a particular gene that code for a particular protein which perform a function which extract the chemical energy from this food and convert into short chain fatty acid, which we call as bitrate, propionate, and acesulfate, right? And again, uh, you know, these are the microbial metabolites, right? The microbial group which actually strengthens your gut lining. It improves your satiety, improves your blood sugar response, right? So essentially, you just by telling that, that is one way to tell, okay, eat these foods, right? That these are going to give you resistant starch or inulin or beta glucans, right? Foods such as rice, sorghum, barley, oats, right? These are beta glucans. So these also further strengthens your gut planning, right? Or maybe polyphenols such as blackberries, blueberries, green tea, dark chocolate, cocoa, right? All these are again these microbiota accessible carbohydrates, right? So just by knowing you these substrates are inside the food, it doesn't mean you will get them, right? For instance, this all depends upon your biochemistry, right? Just by telling that this food is going to give you biochemistry doesn't mean your body would metabolize into this. So essentially, you need to understand whether you have the right set of microbes active, expressing right genes, right? So you don't need to focus you have a certain bacteria, it doesn't matter, right? What chemical it is producing is what matters, Same bacteria may be producing different chemicals in different individuals and different bacteria may be producing same chemicals, right? So essentially just by telling, I have Akkermansia mucifila, right, doesn't mean it is going to trigger the production of pipette. It could also lead to multiple cirrhosis. I think we have discussed this in the previous talk. So so we need to understand whether you have the right set of bacteria active, expressing right genes, right, to actually convert these sort of polyphenols and beta glucans and all dietary fiber into bitrate acetate and propionate, right? So you really need to understand your biochemistry just by telling you this food have these substrate doesn't mean your body is going to make leverage the maximum benefit out of it, and that's why a lot of foods or the packaged food which are branded or packaged as healthy may not be healthy for home, for you, your wife, your father, or your dog, right? So essentially, and again, there are a lot of other emulsifiers and artificial sweetener which do impact your cellular function, right? Which do impact your metalloproteins, right? Which can disrupt your cellular signaling, right? So that is one aspect. So you need to consume NDFC, non-digestible fermentable carbohydrate, which consists of prebiotic. Prebiotic is food for your microbes. For instance, people who are saying do not eat banana because it is high in sugar, bullshit, right? banana is very high in prebiotic fiber, right? So essentially, take less ripened banana. That should do wonders for you until unless you have a banana virus, which is going to become inflammation, right? So prebiotics, resistant starch, dietary fiber, microbiota accessible carbohydrates like polyphenols, flavonoids, beta glucan, right? Resistant starch. Right? So all these are something when I talk carbohydrates, these are something which should be part of your diet, and which specific food it should you should consume to get these is depends upon your biochemistry. Again, the functions of your biochemical functions performed by your gut microbiome. So, this is one aspect which can understanding your biochemistry, measuring your biochemistry, and understanding how your microbes would extract chemical energy and produce starch and fatty is essential one thing. Second thing is this is again beneficial from both obesity and type 2 diabetes. From a type 2 diabetes perspective, I'm going to talk about three basic facts here. One is, the GLUT4, which is activated by a pain, you know, nitric oxide. And again, what happens when you consume something, your oral macro pre-digested sends chemical signals, pancreas will start releasing insulin. Insulin binds to insulin receptor most in fat cells, liver cells, and muscle cells, right? And most of the cells, right? And again, it leads to signaling cascade, which tells you it goes to your endothelial nitric synthase, which tells to activate GLUT4. And again, you need to have nitric oxide being produced inside the body to give the signal, right? And again, your oral microbes convert a lot of nitrate in vegetables, for instance, spinach, arugula, kale, a lot of these vegetables have nitrate. They convert it into nitrite, and again, nitrite get mixed with is protonated in stomach acid to produce nitric oxide. And again, you need to have right amount of stomach acid, hydrochloric acid in place, right? So if you have acid reflux, you take PPI, probably you don't have stomach acid, then you will bear higher risk of you developing type 2 diabetes because it will disrupt your nitric oxide production. There will be no signals of GLUT4, then again, the signal will go to pancreas to release more insulin, and it results in hyperglycemia, hyperinsulinemia, and type 2 diabetes. So this is one aspect to it, right? Second thing is again certain trace minerals, for example, zinc and copper, and zinc plays a key role in insulin secretion, right? So here I'm going to talk about something very, very important from a cellular metabolism perspective. So, our cells, each cell is engulfed with the cell membrane, right? And cell membrane needs lipids, fatty acids, cholesterol to maintain the structure and fluidity, right? So, these fats are really, really essential. So when you're consuming fats such as omega-6 polyunsaturated fats, or probably you're eating something in the restaurant which is made of hydrogenated oil, which is again one of the worst oil you could look at, then palm oil, seed oil, vegetable oils, right? All these changes your structure and fluidity of cell membranes, right? Now, this structure and fluidity is required for the cellular signaling, for helping cells sense what is outside of cells, and do a lot of facts such as produce nitric oxide, activate PGC1 alpha homatocal biogenesis, right? Multiple factors. So if you are taking these seed oils and bad oils and fragile oils, right, fragile fatty acids, these could change your structure and fluidity. So there's no saline, there's no nitric oxide, right? And these are really fragile acids, specifically the palm oils and vegetable oils. They react with oxygen to generate reactive oxygen species, right? And these cells become weak, right? When these cells become weak, they are mostly red blood cells. So essentially, these are uh, eaten up by macrophages. The result part is iron and get stored in your liver, right? Because these macrophages are released from the liver, right? And again, this destroys your liver cells. It further leads to inappropriate response to glucose. It leads to increased risk of type 2 diabetes. And again, these over a period of time, these iron which gets moved to different parts of the body, including pancreas, it destroy beta cells, and then you have type 2 diabetes, or it can go to your brain, it can go to your heart, and there's a lot of issues. And ROS further called mitochondrial dysfunction, and again, it could lead to a situation of type 2 diabetes. Second thing is these ROS uh, leads to oxidation of tetrahydrobiopterin BH4, which is again a cofactor for production of nitric oxide. And again, your body doesn't produce nitric oxide and you have a risk of type 2 diabetes. Or it oxidizes a lot of these metals like zinc, which are there on your protein, on your enzymes, and this becomes dysfunctional. Right? So again, these fatty acids, wrong fatty acids, fragile fatty acids, like omega-6 and polyunsaturated fats, and uh, these reactive oxygen causes ROS, which can disrupt nitrogen signaling, which can lead to peroptosis, the process of this, the iron getting stored on liver, and iron entering your cells and reacting with lipid peroxidation to actually further cause ROS, right? So essentially, these all things called peroptosis, and again, this is another individual risk factor for type 2 diabetes, right? So again, taking maybe having a bit of sugar or artificial sweetener also can further disrupt your cellular signaling, can lead to situation of insulin intolerance. So first thing is, do not, if you are buying packaged food from outside and thinking these are healthy, these doesn't have sugar, these don't have artificial sweetener, these are low carbohydrates, probably you are doing yourself a disservice, right? You need to understand these all substrates, the non-digestible fermentable carbohydrates, the healthy fats, right? So I would recommend eat, do not think saturated fats are bad. Eat a lot of ghee, butter, right? Is really, really beneficial. Cheese is really, really good, right? Do and have monounsaturated fats. You should have coconut oil. Again, coconut oil. I'm going to have a separate talk on coconut oil, which is linked to a reversal of cancer as well. But I'm going to discuss it in a separate talk, right? But these do not react with oxygen, so these does not trigger ROS. This cannot impact your mitochondria, right? So, all these, fermentable carbohydrates are available in the food, naturally grown food, the vegetables, the oats that you can buy, the nuts and seeds you can buy, right? Various, millets, right? Rye, barley, sorghum, right? Even, have the wheat, which is high in fiber, right? So you can easily go to a flour mill and buy it. Right? So essentially, I'm just first thing is adopt these choices. Second thing is understand your biochemistry, measure your biochemistry, measure what microbes are doing and performing, not what microbes are there. Just remember, same microbe may be producing different chemicals in two individuals' body, and one may be good and other may be bad. And similarly, there will different bacteria may produce the same chemical. You need to focus on what chemical is being produced, not what bacteria is there. Right? So that's it for today. Have a great day. Thank you very much.